All right, everyone, we're recessing at noon. Oh, please have a seat. We're recessing at noon. So my understanding, they're swearing in one more person. So the cases that I'm going to take up are the cases that I have, and everyone else, you're going to have to come back at 1:30. No moaning, no groaning. It's Friday's Eve. I know we're not retired, but it's Friday's Eve. So the people I'm going to take up is Alex Miosek, Johnny Brown, Dominique Nicholson, and whoever's being sworn in over here. Those are the files that I have. All right, Alex Miosek. And probation, this is an application. Court is calling 2024 CR 3533, State of Texas versus Alex Miosek. Can I have parties announced for the record? State. Defense.
And Lindsay Shaw for Mr. Miosek.
And is it Miosek or Miosek?
Miosek.
Miosek. You're right, Judge.
I didn't know if that was a hard C or not. Mr. Miosek, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Did you understand that you're charged with the offense? I'm sorry, that the state is reducing your charge to assault, bodily injury, family as a misdemeanor? All right, off the record for a moment. It's a Class A misdemeanor. The range of punishment is up to a $4,000 fine and up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail.
Okay.
All right, you're gonna need to speak
Oh,
up.
sorry, that's fine.
Did you understand that the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family. The state is recommending deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration AL 265720. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition,
Yes, ma'am.
and you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent. Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, no contact with Shelby Schultz outside of the app close and the BIPP course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? To the offense, the lesser included offense, how do you plead?
Yes.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right, are you employed?
Yes,
What do you do?
ma'am. A consultant for exterior modeling for residential.
All right. And how many children do you have? And this is the only child with this person? All right, your relationship with her is over. The only contact you can have with her is through the app. If you contact her outside of the app, we're going to have a problem. And that contact with her through that app, there still must be no harmful or injurious contact. So what that means is no profanity, no disrespect. At the end of the day, this is the person you chose to be the mother of your child. And whether you love them or not, or have respect for them or do not, have respect for your child. And by respecting your child, that means you respect the mother. You understand? All right. Is there any alcohol issues with you? Because I was reading the report and I see that was an issue that perhaps may have started this.
No, Your Honor.
All right. It's going to be 2 years deferred adjudication, affirmative finding of family violence, taking consideration AL 265720, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. I'm going to ask for 30 sober support meetings in 30 days. And that's based upon what I see in the police report. There's to be no contact with Shelby Schultz, SCHULTZ. The only exception is through the app, APPCLOSE, and that contact must be no harmful or injurious contact. proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors, the BIPP course, 80 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once parenting classes are completed, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. And there will be field visits 1 time per month for 2 months. All right, we can go off the record. Do you have any questions about anything?
I think it's very clear.
All right, so in this court, communication is key to be successful on probation. If there are some issues, let your probation officer know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to court. I'm serious about that no contact order. If for some reason she reaches out to you, you need to, outside of that app, you need to let probation know, because what I can tell you, they will discover if you've had contact with her. Your relationship with her outside of parenting is over. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Yes.
Your Honor, on Jose Parra, he's right there on the front row at the
Mhm.
end. We have an agreement for him to do time in the state jail on his case. But I'm not in your group before lunch and I have a plane to catch this afternoon. So I was wondering if you could do that plea Monday.
All right, State,
Yes, Your Honor.
are you able to do her paperwork for him now?
I'm halfway through paperwork right now.
All right, we'll see where we are and we may be able to take it up.
Okay.
And Deputy Laura said you won't have to bring him back. Michael Aguirre. Where's the attorney?
I'm here, Judge.
Court is, and this is no application. Court is calling 2024 CR 6299 State versus Michael Aguirre. Can I have parties announced for the record? State,
Jason Beerhand, Your Honor.
defense,
Abelardo Garza.
and are you Mr. Aguirre?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Aguirre, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Just one second.
No, they're in there.
Yes, you're proceeding on the indictment as presented.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Yes, you are. And they're waiving the habitual.
Oh, they're waiving, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Right.
All right, any objection to the waive?
No objections, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony.
That's correct.
Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Are you a US citizen?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
According to the plea, there's to be 180 days in the state jail facility. There's a $2,000 fine. There are no applications. State will take in consideration 2024 PF 19759. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. The court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we just asked the court to follow the agreement and we'd ask for 80-20.
All right, the court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 180 days in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. There's a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. The court will take in consideration 2024 PF 19759, and I'll request the therapeutic community for you. It doesn't increase the time that you're in custody, but it perhaps can help you with any drug problems you may have. All right, we can go off the record. How old are you?
I'm 52.
All right, time starts speeding by when you're in your 50s.
Right.
You're gonna have to stop using, otherwise somebody may end up having to identify your body. You understand?
That's correct.
All right, so when you're released from the state jail facility, if you need help finding treatment, if I'm here, I'll direct you, okay?
Okay,
Thank you, good luck to you.
thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. That'd be excused.
Yes. Who is here on Dominic Nicholson? Dominic Nicholson. Don't run. All right, you've been in trials.
I'm exhausted. I am exhausted.
All right, so where's your client?
He's here.
Come down. All right, so where are we on this case?
We're still just waiting. Yeah, we're gonna be ready whenever you set us,
All right,
but not
so,
today.
all right, no. We will not have your jury trial today, Mr. Nicholson. What I can tell you is we have a murder trial at the beginning of the month. And that's most likely, that may be potentially our last trial of the year because that will last long. But what I can do is I can put you at the beginning of the new year and your case will be the first. That's all I have. And, all right, and here's the thing about it. Whenever I have jury trials, I don't want people to be rushed. I don't want your counsel to be rushed. I don't want the state to be rushed. And most importantly, since this is going to be a jury trial and not a bench trial, you don't want jurors perhaps thinking, hey, let's move things quickly because I need to do holiday shopping or I have people coming in. I'm not saying that they would do that, but why put the extra stressor on them to hope that they're listening to everything? I believe they would. I have faith in humanity, but I don't think anyone wants to be thinking, hey, are they thinking about leaving early? Are they thinking about holiday stuff? So Ms. Ferguson, can you give me a jury trial date for this in January? And how long do y'all expect the trial to last?
Your Honor, I would say at least 3 days for the state's case in chief.
Okay,
Yeah.
so give me 4 days. And what I can tell you is your attorney was not present a specific date because she was in a jury trial. So that's where we are. All right, jury trial is January 14th.
We'll be ready to roll.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Mayor,
Yes.
this is off the docket, but I was here last week on an MTR where we reset the case and my client's mother had passed away and we talked about her being transported from the jail to the funeral
Mhm.
arrangements. Her family, the funeral, I have the funeral information, but it's Thursday, the 21st and 22nd.
Mhm.
The family wants to actually bond her out, but then wants her to go back into custody the following Monday, obviously, because it's things, I told them it
Here's the
doesn't
thing,
work
once
that
they're
way.
bonded out, they're bonded out.
That's exactly what I explained to them. You don't get to just go back to jail when you
No.
want to, but I was gonna see if we could come to court on the 25th. I know because of Thanksgiving, that's not an option. So just to cover it in case they decide not to bond her out, I do have the funeral information.
All right, you'll have to get that to the sheriffs. They're the
Okay.
one who will be in charge of transporting.
Do I need an order from you?
No, you just, well, it would probably be best.
Yes.
And I will let them know that I have no objections to her going to the funeral.
Okay, so
Yes.
maybe draft like a motion and order. Is it
Yeah,
okay?
I'll tell you what, if you can come back this afternoon, I'll call the people while you're here.
Okay, I will be here. Sounds good.
All right,
Thank you,
sure.
Judge. Okay, I'll draft.
All right, Johnny Walker Brown. Court is calling 2024 CR 008797 State versus Johnny Walker Brown. Can I have parties announced for the record? State? Defense?
Stephen Harkowitz for Mr. Brown.
All right, and probation, this is an application. Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams? That's a 3rd-degree felony.
Yes, ma'am.
Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a US citizen?
Yes.
According to the plea, there's a $1,000 fine and the state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be
Yes.
the plea? Defense?
Yes, sir.
State? Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution. Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. After reviewing the same, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I would just ask the court to follow the recommendation. Mr. Brown lives in Natalia with his fiancee. They have 1 child. They have another child on the way. He tells me that he is working and he's working really hard. So understands he's going to have to juggle his employment and comply with his court and certainly is
Where's Natalia?
a little south of.
South.
Medina County Judge.
All right, so are you all able to still supervise or no?
Yes, Judge.
All
Well,
right,
he tells me he lives in Beer
Yeah,
County,
it's-
right on the, like.
It's right on the edge of Bear County and Medina County.
all right. So let me ask you this. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
It should be negative with methamphetamine, but I did take some pain medication for my back.
Is it prescribed to you?
No, man, it's not.
You're not supposed to do that.
I know. I'm
And that's
sorry.
not good because you obviously have drug issues. All right. And here's the thing. I need you to be honest with me. And let me just tell you why. If you use drugs today, you are not on probation, so it's not a violation. I'm trying to figure out what are the best conditions for you so that you can be successful. So let's not start off by being untruthful with me, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I-
So guess what? Wherever we are now, we're all trying to improve in our life. I'm trying to be a better person. Everybody in here is. So where you start out is just hopefully this is not where we'll end up, okay?
No, it won't.
So- So if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? What are you going to be positive for?
Pain medication, I don't know, this is
I'm
amphetamine.
sorry, what?
A pain medication, amphetamine, I guess it is,
Mhm.
hydrocodone.
And whose medication is that?
It was my dad's.
All right. And you say it was your dad. Is your dad currently alive?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So that's his pain medication
ma'am.
and you took it. Does he know you took his medication? No. So that's an issue.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, it's not an apology to me. It's your father needs that medication for his pain and you're taking it. Do you know how deep that means you are into your addiction? Yeah, I mean, if you take somebody's medication and you don't tell them and it's for their pain, you are deep in the throes of your
It
addiction.
was with an older prescription of his.
That's an excuse.
No, I
That's not
know.
your meds. It's his. Now, does your fiance work?
Yes,
What are her hours?
she works from home, so she's at home, she works from like 8 to 5.
And is she using?
No, ma'am. We just moved in together, like,
How long have you known her?
2 years, 3 years. now.
And she knows about your drug issues?
Yes, ma'am, she knows that I was.
Well, I mean, no, you're clearly still in the throes of your addiction.
Yes.
It's
I
not,
understand.
it's current.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
All right, the court is going to sentence you to 3 years deferred adjudication. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs, $1,000 fine to be probated. Proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. There's to be field visits 1 time per month until further notice. I'm going to want a TAP evaluation out of custody. Follow all TAP recommendations. There's to be 120 hours of community service restitution. There's to be 120 sober meetings in 120 days. I'm going to order parenting classes. In this court, we can go off the record. In this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. And the next time you come before me, you need to bring more than tears of disappointment. You need to do some action.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
part of that action is accepting responsibility and not making excuses.
Yes, ma'am.
The fact that you made an excuse that, oh, the medication is expired, that means nothing. You took medication that did not belong to you and your father needs it for his pain. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you. And this is,
And Bashan, I know that felony drug court there, I don't know if they're accepting anymore, but see if felony drug court will accept him. Oh, Nola, I'm not taking up any other cases. This is my last plea. Everybody else will need to come back after. Eric Kelly.
Present Judge.
All right, is this going to be jury? What are we doing here?
Well, Judge, we just got an offer today,
Okay,
and in fact, there's a possibility that we might do two different things. One offer that involves my case, one offer that involves Mr. Campion's case. Mr. Zamora was here, but his cases, I think, are still unindicted.
all right.
And so since it was our first day getting an offer, our client would, of course, like some time to mull that over. There's some other cases out there that we need to make sure are going to be taken care of and find out how they would, he's got a couple misdemeanors in Guadalupe that we're concerned about. And still a violation of bond or protective order that we can't figure out whether that's related to here or there.
All right, Norma, set this for a plea deadline date, December 19th.
Except,
What?
except I'm out from December 10th to January 10th.
All right, Norma, set this for a plea deadline date, December 9th.
That's fine, Judge, but I can't go to trial if,
It's your plea deadline date.
okay,
All right,
so it'll get reset if we're going to trial? Okay, all
okay,
right, thank you, Judge, we
You're welcome.
appreciate it.
all right.
Bernie had to be in federal court at 1, so that's why we kind of wanted to rush up here.
Okay, no problem. All right, this is the last case we're taking up before our break. Court is calling 2024 CR 5005, State of Texas versus Jose Luis Parra. And probation, there's no application. Can I have parties announced for the record? State,
Oh, no, I've got nothing to say.
defense.
Brenda Levinstein for Mr. Parra.
Are you Mr. Parra? Did you understand you're charged with the offense? I'm sorry. Did you hand me that back?
Yeah, I think you need,
I don't have a copy.
oh, I gave it to him already. You want me to,
Yes,
okay,
that's okay. So let
Sorry.
me sign that one.
all right. Thank you.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
yes.
According to the plea, sentencing is to be set at 8 months in the state jail facility. There's a $1,000 fine and no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense is at the plea.
It is.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 in attachments. The court has reviewed the same. Court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes,
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
just, I'd like you to follow the plea bargain agreement.
All right, the court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 8 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. There's a $1,000 fine. Time and money is to run concurrent. There's to be no contact with Walter Jordan Paddleford, Padelford. I'll recommend the therapeutic community. It doesn't increase the time that you're in custody, but it'll help you perhaps if you have drug issues. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. Let me ask you a question. What was the most painful tattoo? All of them? Yeah. None of them were painful? Not even the ones around the eye? Okay. All right. Well, good luck to you. Have a great day.
I just wanted to add one more thing. He's got, the clerk has told me he's got 122 days.
Okay. They'll make sure the credit is there.
And
All right,
thanks
good.
for squeezing us in.
All right. You're welcome. Have a good one. Safe flight.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Porter, come forward. All right. Hello. It's too early for Christmas. Oh, no, I'm just joking with you. It seems that Christmas comes earlier and earlier every year and they put everything out. But, all right, so what we're here for today, the state, were you able to tender an offer? Okay. All right, sir, how old are you?
6.
All right, you're 26. Get the calendar here. All right, Norma. On this case, can you set it for a plea deadline date, the week of December 16th?
I'm probably leaving town December 13th, so a couple days before that.
All right, Norman, then can you put it on December 10th?
Then I have the dentist, so maybe the 11th or the 12th.
All right, December 12th.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused. On that day, you need to let the court know whether or not you've reached an agreement. If not, your next setting will be a trial setting.
Alrighty.
All right, thank you. Mr. Otero, it seems like you were just here yesterday for a jury trial. All right, and can I see the file on Christie Brown, please? Christie Brown? If you'll come forward, please. Hello. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
All right, great. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Yes.
All right, so your attorney just sent an email saying that he is in Johnson County.
Yes.
Attorneys, help me out. Where is Johnson County? I look at Joseph.
Say Johnson.
Yes.
Johnson.
Johnson City, straight up 281, just past Pine Cove. It's about from 281 and 1604, you got about another hour.
Okay, all right, thank you.
They have a little museum up there.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, it's all about President Johnson.
Wow. And hence the name, I guess, Johnson. All right, so are you employed?
No.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
So what we're gonna do is we're going to recall your case.
Okay.
And that way your attorney will have a chance to come in and your attorney, will talk to the state. Okay,
I do like how.
all right. Norma, can you put this on the docket for November 21st? All right, they're gonna give you a reset form, so you'll need to be back here on November 21st at 9
Oh, 9 a.m.
a.m.
Okay,
But don't leave the court. She's gonna give you your reset form.
okay.
All right,
Thank
thank you. Anyone else ready? If you're ready, just have them pull your file and then I'll call you up. See, and you're probably thinking, what is the judge doing? She's just sitting there.
I was just busy doing my own thing, until I thought about it, but no, I'd given it before lunch, because I want to be ready to go.
Huh? Sometimes attorneys are just staring at me and I always say, why is this person staring at me? I don't have anything.
Oh my God, no, I thought they had it, because I asked her, she goes, right up there, I go, okay, and I was just reading the news. I know.
All right, who is here on, well, you are. If you have your client, Andrew Laija, come down. And are you ready to proceed on the,
Yes, Judge, we are ready to proceed.
all right, we're gonna go on the record. Court is calling 2024 CR 6204, State of Texas versus Andrew Mark Laija. Can I have parties announced?
Jason Garrett, state your honor.
Teresa Garcia for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Laija?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same Andrew Mark Laija who was placed on community supervision in 2024 CR 6204 for the offense of theft $2,500 to $30,000 on July 9th, 2024 for a term of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor, violating condition number 1 on or about the 30th day of September 2024 in Dale County, Texas. The defendant, Andrew Mark Laija, committed the offense of theft in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion and sentence you up to 1 year in the state jail facility and up to a $500 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Laija, what I can tell you is I'm not going to follow that agreement. I'm going to revoke you. And let me just tell you, and people always say, don't say too much on the record, but I want you to understand the reason why I'm doing it. I understand that they want the MRT, but how old are you?
46.
You're 46. So, you're at an age, you're supposed to know right from wrong. You can't take what doesn't belong to you. And you are on probation for a theft case. And when you were placed on probation for this theft case, there were cases that were taken in consideration. They were thefts. And then now you're back and now there's a new theft. So I don't think you're a good candidate for probation. So I'm not going to continue you. What I'm going to do is I'm finding number 1 true. I'll take into consideration 2024 CC 73890, 2024 CC 738391. There's to be no contact with any Home Depots. And I'm going to sentence you to 1 year in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. There's a $500 fine, time and money will run concurrently. And I think there was a no contact in that case as well. Let me see which person that was with or facility. And there's a no contact with Dick's Sporting Goods. All right, we can go off the record. Your attorney actually did a very good job for you because now you're not looking at all of these other cases. So you should not have any more cases on your books when you come out, but you cannot take what doesn't belong to you. All right.
Sure.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. 73890. Okay. So, court reporter for the record, that case being taken in consideration is 2024 CC 738906. All right. Who's here on Richard Baker? All right. Norma, where is Family Violence? All right, could you have them come down, please? They'll be right down.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Just have a seat, Mr. Baker. Richard Baker, we have a couple of things going on. The first thing we have in the night mag cause number that ends in 84. The bondsman has filed an affidavit to surrender surety.
Judge, because their affidavit was so sweeping and broad, saying he just didn't comply with rules, I asked you to deny it because it wasn't specific enough. We can't just have them every time they want to quit, you know, tell the court, oh, this guy's not obeying our rules. Let's at least know what it is.
Okay. On this
But
one-
you said, I'm sorry, Judge.
No, go ahead.
You said, well, find out if you can get them to stay on the bond. Well, we cannot get them to stay on the bond. So you're probably going to grant that. I'd ask you
Well,
not
not
to.
necessarily. We shall see. They're saying that they say that he's a flight risk and will not appear in court as ordered. That's what they put in.
If on the new cases, you were to order some sort of electronic monitoring device as a condition of the bond, that could address that issue. But, you know, it's sort of conclusory.
All right, well-
He's in college, he's a US veteran, he's.
Well, this is what I can tell you. If you want to call the bondsman, because I do have a hearing set and it says the bondsman is to be present. So if you'll call the bondsman, and would there be any objection if they're able to zoom in?
None from me, Judge.
All right, so if you'll get in touch
Can I
with the
take that
bondsman,
paperwork back, Judge?
yes,
Thank you.
and we'll see what they're doing. All right, who's here on Otilio Ruiz? All right, and Vashon, this is an application.
Yes.
Court is calling 2024 CR 2499 State versus Otilio Ruiz. Can I have parties announce?
Jason Garrett here for the state, Your Honor.
John St. Heiners for defense.
And are you Mr. Ruiz?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, so off the record for a moment. On his application for deferred adjudication,
Yes, Your Honor.
is there any objection to the court adding the last name Ruiz?
No, Your Honor.
Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. All right, we'll go back on the record. Mr. Ruiz, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication with your attorney? And did
Yes,
you
I did, ma'am.
understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand you're charged with injury to the child of a child or elderly or disabled person, bodily injury as a third-degree felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at a $500 fine. The state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, I did.
All right, outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be 120 hours of community service restitution, no contact with Conrado Espinoza, that's CONRADO, and the APSE course. Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge, we are.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. First off, my client is the primary breadwinner for the family. He's the only one working. He has 4 children and 1 on the way. We would ask the court, if considering all these facts, if they would be willing to probate the fine.
Okay. All right, anything you want to say? What have we learned from this? What we've learned is that if you're walking in the middle of the street, or if you're driving and someone honks their horn at you, you do not follow them to their home. And this was an elderly gentleman. I bet you were not expecting a dog to come out and come to his defense. What type of dog was it?
Pit bull.
All right. So you had a round with a pit bull that was protecting his owner. And how many times did the pit bull bite you?
3 times.
And where did the pit bull bite you?
My ankle and my thigh.
Was it painful?
Yeah.
I bet you won't do that again, will you? See, so here's the thing. All of this that happens out here with people driving or people walking and people honking their horns at you, you got to let that go. And you can't be following somebody to their residence because you never know what could have happened. And your attorney is telling me that you have children. That could have easily went one, maybe you got rabies and died, or maybe the pit bull could have ended up killing you. Then who would be taking care of your children? All right.
Yes.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. There's a $500 fine that'll be probated.
Thank you, Judge.
2 years deferred adjudication. What do you do for a living?
Diesel mechanic.
Okay. Proof of employment within 15 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. 120 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once he completes parenting classes, 60 of those hours will be deemed satisfied. And I'll order defensive driving. And once he completes that, the remaining of the 60 hours will be deemed satisfied.
Thank you, Judge. It's more than generous.
Yeah. There's to be no contact with Conrado Espinoza. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. And there'll be field visits 1 time per month for 2 months. Probation, is there anything else? Okay. All right, we can go off the record. In this court, communication is key to be successful. If you have an issue, let probation know about it. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court.
Yeah, you can call me
Right.
too.
Okay.
And please tell me, Deputy Laura, I'm hoping they didn't put the pit bull down.
No.
Oh, they did not?
No,
All right.
Judge.
Okay. All right, good luck to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Your Honor, may I return this document to you?
Yes.
The bonding company does not answer.
Okay,
So
well, I'll
nothing
take
I
care of
can
it.
do.
Norma, on this case with Pat Montgomery on Baker, was the bonds company notified? All right, Norma, you want to see if you can get in touch with the bonds company?
The Onion bought InfoWars.
The what?
The Onion, you know what the Onion is?
Yeah.
They bought Alex Jones InfoWars.
Well, my understanding is that the family, that the family of the students killed,
Uh-huh.
they helped pay some of that.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. So, you
Mhm.
know. Here I'm thinking I'm bringing you news and you're bringing me news. Wow. Hello.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Rodriguez.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
All right, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I had my mic off. Can you hear me?
All right.
I'm trying to get the volume up so I can hear you. Okay.
All right, I think I hear you better now. All right, what we're here for is you're asking to be taken off of this bond. You filed an affidavit to surrender surety.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you aware of Mr. Baker's case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we'll proceed. The court is calling, let me see. And I just have an affidavit to surrender surety on one of the cases.
Yes, I had two cases. One of them is completely paid off, and he just
Okay.
paid on the other.
All right, so the one that he's seeking is the one that we're going to proceed on. Court is calling NIGHTMAG number 724084, State versus Richard Nelson Baker. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Raymond Salaya.
Defense?
Pat Montgomery.
And are you Mr. Baker?
Nelson Baker, yes.
Yes. All right. Is your first name Richard?
Yes.
Okay.
You said Nelson.
Yeah, Richard Nelson Baker?
Nelson.
Ah,
No,
you need to correct that then, because it's listed as Nelson. All right. And the bondsman has filed an affidavit to surrender surety. And defense, are you objecting to the court signing that?
I am, Judge. I'd like you to leave the bond as is and address the new bond, which is currently, it's not here right now, but it's currently a remand without bond. Mr. Rodriguez isn't necessary for that case.
Okay. All right. So with regards to this case, Mr. Rodriguez, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Manuel Rodriguez, Eagle Bell Bond.
All right. So, Mr. Rodriguez, the court is in receipt of an affidavit to surrender surety. Defense counsel says that it is not clearly defined the reason for you're wanting to be removed from the bond. And what you put in the affidavit is that you believe he's a flight risk. Are you able to expound for the court, please?
Yes, the reason on the file, that's the standard statement on the.
Okay, I'm sorry,
None
just
of
one
us,
second. All right, are you able to move closer to your microphone?
Oh, can you hear me?
All right, let's do this.
Let me do the output, see what's wrong with the output.
Okay.
Output speaker. Oh.
All right, let's do this. Is there any objections if he were just to call my phone and I can put him on speakerphone, but since everybody has seen him, any objections to that?
Probably hear him better that way, Judge.
All right.
No objection.
Okay, Mr. Rodriguez.
How is that?
You text, repeat yourself now?
Yes, manual. This is manual. I just found it's actually under the input. I guess I was looking at the wrong one.
All right, to the court report, are you able to hear him better now or no?
A little better, yes.
All right, can you just say something? Let's see if we can get you.
My name is Manuel Rodriguez with Eagle Bell Bonds.
Is that good, or do you want him by phone? All right. Can you put in the chat box your number and I'll call you?
Okay, where's the check box?
Oh, yes. And if you need to sign off to answer the phone, you can. And I'm going to call you right now.
You have my number?
Yes, Norman's giving it to me. All right, so can you explain why you did not want to be on the bond?
And it didn't look like, nobody was gonna bond him out. And I've been having problems with him as far as his payments are concerned from before.
All right, and with regards to what you put in the affidavit about the flight risk?
That's standard portion, standard, item on the outbound.
Okay, so can you explain to the court and to the defense counsel, what is your reason for not wanting to be on this bond?
I've had Richard on bond for over a year now. My biggest problem with him was at first was calling it and making it payment. You know, we had two different bonds. One of them was completely paid when his mother got him out. The second one, he was gonna make payments. And at first he wasn't calling in or nor making his payments at all. So when he got arrested, it wasn't getting vested out. I waited. I think it was a week or two, maybe longer, because he had promised to make a payment on the 2nd of November, and he had gotten arrested, and he never made that payment. And these were back. So since he wasn't getting bonded out, I just did a surety surrender. I didn't feel it was right for me to do surety surrender on both bonds because one of them was paid off completely. So, you know, I figured, by my own right, I figured I only had the right to get off on one of them because he was refusing to pay.
All right. Any questions, defense?
What kind of payments was he supposed to be making?
Originally, and I've got the arrangement here. It was $500 a month, started on the 10th of November. His first payment that he made was a $250 payment on February the 2nd. The second payment was $500 on the 29th of February. The third payment was $500 on May the 31st. And then he made another payment of $500 on August the 2nd. And then on September the 1st, he made a payment of $500. And that's all he paid.
Since your affidavit did not cite to missed payments, will you agree to withdraw that factually inaccurate affidavit where you said that he was a flight risk, because you always say that in every case, and instead allow him to make payments to you once he is released?
We all in agreement that he makes up his payment that he's behind and he will not miss another one. I'll agree.
So, if he is to be released on his bond, his funds are at his home with his mother, and he will contact you and make those payments. I ask you, sir, to withdraw this factually inaccurate affidavit of surety to surrender so that the judge can set bond on his new case, which was previously set at $20,000. He can hire you if he deems fit on that case as well.
Well, will he get bonded out?
Yes, sir.
He's back on the bond.
Indeed, but there's still one other case that no one's made bond on yet. But that's not before us right now, sir.
But if I make, why should I retract the off bond if he's gonna stay in jail?
We don't know that he's going to.
He hasn't gotten out in September.
Well,
When he got arrested.
that's not necessarily a legal reason. It's very similar to telling a judge that you always say a person's a flight risk anytime you ever ask to get off bond. You're not supposed to do that. It's similar here. If he's on bond and you have a contract, you don't get to quit on the bond simply because he's in custody again. We're asking you to withdraw the factually inaccurate affidavit of surety to surrender. You're free to file another one and
I'll submit it as effective, he doesn't make a mistake.
Gotcha, sir.
And I'll take off the house.
Gotcha, sir. And in the meantime, I will try to get him to make bond on his new case and get you your payments so that you don't feel compelled.
Oh, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna retract this one and I'm gonna issue a new one that says that he doesn't make his payment and he's got a flight.
I got you, sir. But in the meantime,
I'll correct.
I'm just trying to get him out so he can get you your payments, sir. That's all I'm trying to do.
So just because he's out doesn't make he's gonna make a payment. I've had bad experience with him.
I hear you.
They never answer his phone. I called his mother. His mother said his phone is working. He called me from his mother's number and he says his phone was stolen and he doesn't have it.
I hear you, sir. I'm just trying to get him out so he can get you your payments. I have no more questions, Judge.
All right, so,
Can I ask you a question, sir? Can you guarantee that he's gonna make the payment?
No, sir, I can't, but he does.
all right, so here's the court's question. So my understanding is with regards to this affidavit to surrender surety, you are going to withdraw this one, is that correct?
If he agrees to make his payment,
No, well, here's the thing, I can't get involved in any contractual agreement, but my understanding is that the affidavit, there's a misstatement in it. So I can't grant this affidavit to surrender surety. Of course, if you file a new one and put the correct things in it, then the court will hear it. And if it's correct, then I'll have the option of granting it. But just this specific one where it says he's a flight risk, I think the testimony is that people misspoke. I'm just gonna say misspoke and put something unintentionally in the affidavit. That's how I'm just gonna put it. And so are you withdrawing that? And then you'll refile another one if you wish to refile another one. All right, so that will be withdrawn. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.
All right, so now where we are, on that case, the affidavit to surrender surety has been withdrawn, but just so you know, the bondsman has stated that they're probably gonna file a new one with different information with regards to payments or whatever else, you understand?
Yeah.
So we're done with that case. Now this one, the Night Mag 724083, what is going on here?
That's the one that the bond is fully paid off and the bondsman did not file a motion to get off the bond on that case.
All right, on this one, we have a violation report.
Yes, ma'am.
And have both parties had a chance to view the violation report?
Can I just give a quick? The violation report alleges the new number 1 pending in County Court 14 of interference with a telephone call, and it alleges a family violence subsequent offense, which is on your docket for today. That's a PF case as well, Judge.
Okay. So on this case, state what will you be requesting on the violation report?
We would be asked that the bond be increased to 100,000 on each case.
All right, defense.
I'd object to that. I'd ask the court, at least from a bonding perspective, to take into consideration whatever bonding decisions you may make and apply them to the PF case rather than applying them to the 2 cases with Mr. Rodriguez, because it will only result in Mr. Rodriguez getting off bond on both of those cases if he's unable to make bond. You're about to take up the matter of the family violence subsequent, the PF that's in your court. I had asked you last time we were here to, strange for a defense attorney to do this, but I had asked you to remand him without bond for a week rather than let the bondsman off the bond so that we could sort all this out and try to preserve these two very expensive bonds for this man.
All right, yeah. I'm so sorry. Could you print out the PF cases for me? So,
That's just one that's in this court.
so it's the court's understanding then that defense, you would agree to $100,000 bond on the PF case?
If that's what the court wants to do, you can set any bond you want, Your Honor.
No.
I don't know that he'll be able to make it, but my goal is to preserve the bonds that exist in the two cases before you. And so on one case, the bondsman himself has said he didn't think it would be fair to, when he has already been paid the full fee to quit, so he didn't file an affidavit of surety to surrender. On the other one, he may or he may not, depending on if he's paid in the future. And we know we're gonna have to make a new bond on the new case. $100,000 for a F3, perhaps a little steep, but I do understand that he was on bond for these two cases already. I just ask you to consider it in the context of the PF case and not within the two night mag cases.
All right, so with regards to the nightmare case, as far as increasing the bond, in order to increase bonds, there needs to be a hearing and witnesses need to be called because the rules of evidence apply. So in the first violation report, what I'm going to do and state, if you wish to have the bond increased, you can have witnesses come in at a different date. I'm going to continue him with his conditions of no contact. But in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to order full GPS. All right, now let's move on to the 2024 PF 20375. In that case, has a bond been set already?
My understanding, that's what the bond was set at 20,000 when it was married.
It was set at 20,000 when he was magged. Then the court was, I thought, this close to granting the affidavit of surety to surrender. I said, Judge, don't touch the affidavit of surety to surrender. If you want to keep him in custody, take care of that on the PF case. At that point, the court changed the 20,000 to remand without bond for 1 week. And here we are now. And there is currently no bond set on that case.
All right, so there's no bond set on this case?
That is correct. It was at 20,000, but it went to remand without bond to avoid surety to surrender.
All right, so then in that case. All right, thank you. So in this case, then, states you're requesting $100,000 bond?
We initially were requesting the 100,000 on the Agasol second degrees, but if the court would like to entertain 100,000 on this case because of the bond.
That's even more than what, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. That's even more, if their request had been raising both of the 75s to 100, it was a 25 increase.
Well, this is what I can tell everyone. He is currently remanded without bond on this case, and there's a judge's warrant.
Yes, ma'am.
If you all want to reset that particular matter to have a hearing, we can have a hearing to set his bond. State, if you want to bring in witnesses, you can bring in witnesses. If not, we can just go forward through using police reports.
Let's go forward using police reports.
All right, so I don't have any.
I'm ready, right in front of you.
Wow. All right. Any suggestions?
Not judge, not for the purposes of the bond hearing. This is his brother, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, the court has reviewed the police report. All right, the court will hear argument unless there's any witnesses from either side.
No, it's
Nothing further from defense as a proffer. We mentioned to you last time, he's a veteran. He's got longstanding ties to the community. I think the ankle monitor is going to cost him another 300 or so a month when he gets out. He'll be making payments to Mr. Rodriguez when he gets out. I'd ask the court to reinstate the original $20,000 bond. And if he makes that bond, he's still going to have to make an additional $300 or so monthly for his full house arrest.
All right, so this is where we are, Mr. Baker, and I want you to know that I listened to both sides of the argument. You were released on bond for 2 aggravated assaults with a deadly weapon on July 12th, 2024. And then now October 19, 2024, there's another assault. And I've read the police report, and it appears that a baseball bat was involved, which technically could be considered an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, because the baseball bat can be considered a deadly weapon. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set your bond at $100,000, and I'll order full GPS. And I'm sorry, what is the complainant's name?
Patrick Baker.
All right, there's to be no contact with Patrick Baker. All right, and then there's no need for a setting because these haven't been indicted yet. But
There
if
is no
you
setting.
if you want to have it come in at a different time, if you want me to reconsider the bond amount, you can always come back.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Excuse.
Yes.
We also had a no firearm possession as a condition of bond.
All right, and there's to be no possession of any firearms.
It's already a condition on the other one.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez, for zooming in.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.